Good evening, everyone. So my plan to introduce the next speaker is very simple. I'm going to ask you all, आजकल इंडिया में सब कर क्या रहे हैं? And I'm sure all of you know the answer. सारे grow कर रहे हैं. So with us we have Mr. Harsh Jain. He holds a BTech degree from the IIT Delhi and an MBA from UCLA School of Management. He holds more than 15 years of experience in senior products, management and business roles. This was in 2017. With no prior experience in finance, Harsh, along with his team, started the journey for Grow, an investment platform to make investment hassle-free. How many of us can imagine doing something like this, taking a first step towards a field that's new to us, taking the first step towards something that's outside our comfort zone? I would like to quote Robert Frost here. Harsh took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Today, Grow has more than 15 million users and has made investments much easier for everyone, including millennials and the Gen Z. So the journey is just begun and the vision is much bigger. So without further ado, I'd like all of you to put your hands together to please welcome Harsh Jain, co-founder and COO of Grow.
Thank you so much. Jai Janendra. So how many of you are in business? कौन अपना business चला रहे हैं? Oh, nice. And in service, profession, working? Oh, great. Oh, cool. There's a bunch. Good. So Hindi, English. Hindi is comfortable, right? Everyone understands Hindi? So I'll keep on mixing. It's easier. So बहुत quickly मैं अपनी story बता देता हूँ कि कैसे कहाँ हुआ, and then little bit about Grow. Then थोड़ा सा I want to talk about the learnings I have in the last few years. And जो challenges आए, काफी challenges हो सकता है आप लोग के साथ, like आपके business job में भी आते होंगे, and hopefully some of those will connect. And we'll be here for any other questions. So I thought that's the best use of the time that we can have, right? So I brought up Jaipur में, I was brought up वहीं पे schooling हुई. कोई बहुत simple सा था, science. अगर 10th में अच्छी marks आ गया तो science ले ली. Science में IIT की coaching होती है और IIT का exam होता है तो IIT हो गया. So वहाँ पे गए जब एकदम the world changed. आपको स्कूल में अपने शहर में सब लगता है अच्छा है, जब आप वहाँ कॉलेज पहुँचते हो, जब हर शहर से ऐसे लोग आते हैं तो आपको लगता है कि सभी लोग वैसे ही हैं, सभी लोग हैं, आप you're very normal. Those are like some checks in life. जहाँ धीरे-धीरे अलग-अलग स्टेज पे we become more grounded. Like we realize that जितना भी आपने कुछ अचीव किया है, उखाड़ा है, लेकिन आप जब सबके सामने आते हो तो then आपको फील हो जाता है कि there's a lot more to do. And then from there I joined a startup back in 2005 Bangalore में. 2-3 साल में मुझे ये समझ में आ गया कि कोडिंग बहुत डिफिकल्ट है मेरे लिए. Then I left. I joined a relative's family business. Very hardcore, non-tech. So from college to a garment export business. 3 साल के लिए I spent 80-90% of my time with the karigar, with the stitch wala log jo hote hain, and the dyers, printers, with some fashion folks and everything. So it was a very, very different experience. But then I felt that technology or bahut dur connect was missing. So I decided I'll do MBA Tech. So I went to US, UCLA. I finished my MBA. Then I started working there. MBA में काफी प्रेशर होता है कि जॉब चाहिए, फिर जॉब मिल जाती है, then you start working. My family was also with me, and then suddenly all the friends, everyone was talking about India because I was in the US and यहाँ पे सब एक्शन हो रहा था. Flipkart was creating news, $1 billion raise कर लिए. There are so many startups, product management, innovation, funding, VC, all these keywords. ये सब इंडिया में चल रहा था और US में ऐसा लग रहा था कि आप जॉब कर रहे हो और आप another 10-15-20 साल जॉब ही करते रहोगे. तो I think it didn't take me too long. 3-4 months in the job, H1B successfully achieved, but I decided we'll move back to India. So I came back to Bangalore, joined Flipkart. 2 years, I thought I'll stay, settle down, 3-4 साल लगाएंगे, कुछ सीखेंगे, अच्छा वापस से. But I think within a year, another colleague approached and asked कि startup करना है क्या? It was very, I mean, I had loan, like a lot of loan from my MBA. I had a family, kid, so it was a difficult decision. I think that was the first challenge which I felt I had to overcome. Like startup, this is very attractive. It gives you, a lot of satisfaction. So उस type पे startup का काफी मन था. MBA में भी I did something before that also did. So I mean I kept on doing some things, but never did something really big substantial. तो मुझे लगा कि startup का अच्छा मौका है और. And within 2 years left, and then then the Grow was born 2016. Lot of stories in between, and of course a lot of learnings which were there. But Grow, see, the idea was that जब मैं so back there in 2004 I was in 4th year college and I opened my first account for investing, Demat account. I think Sher Khan या कोई किन्होंने कैंप लगाया हो कॉलेज में, and then I opened account. And it took me like 7-8 days because उन्होंने paper sign कराया, उसके बाद then they came and then they opened account, they told me. And then back in 2015 when in Flipkart I wanted to open account with one of the discount brokers, and that also took me 7 days because वो document लेके नीचे आदमी आ जाता था हमेशा और मेरे को कभी मन नहीं करता था कि मैं नीचे जाके sign करके account open करके आऊँ. So what we felt was that a lot of frictions is still existing. And the bigger side of the picture is like everyone around us within Flipkart also in our friend circle, people were not excited about any of these investment or any finance products. So we realized that agar money is so important, critical, that we work hard, we talk about it, and we feel really, really happy when we earn a lot of money. And when we spend a lot of money, we feel even happier. Then why the things which are related to money are so complicated, so painful? Then people never get up in the morning and say कि आज मुझे invest करना है. Every day somebody needs to sell it to them, and I really appreciate the selling of mutual funds. And I think you told about a selling skill, and it's an amazing skill. But one thing that we realize that we don't want to sell. Right? We will never sell. We want to create a pull. We want people to buy. We want people to look for it. So हमारा day 1 से जो एक basic value हमने start किया Grow में, उसमें ये था कि we feel that selling is not something that people should decide based on. People should decide on their own. So can we create a pull? Can we create a demand? Can we create it's so exciting, so interesting, and so transparent, so simple that people want to do it on their own. So that was the basic premise with which we thought, let's use technology. WhatsApp never had to sell that. Okay, I mean, download and start chatting. It just happened because people loved the experience, people loved the product, people felt that there is a need, and then there is a network effect. Everyone was talking about it, and there are so many examples that we can see. So हमारा inspiration वहाँ से आया. हमारा inspiration आया कि if we can build the experience so transparent, so frictionless, so interesting and delightful that people will want to participate, people would want to engage, and then they will end up doing the right thing with the money and right thing for the money in their life. So that was our starting point. And of course, like our journey started with mutual funds. We went into broking, we are getting into lending, we'll do a lot more products. So Grow will keep on evolving, but I want to spend more time in my learnings and the challenges than really, about Grow story, which I'm happy to talk about later also. So some of the challenges, I think it's interesting. जब भी startup की बात होती है, I think lot of forums, lot of discussion, people ask about funding or finding about revenue, profitability, and all those things. I think for us, like the way challenge started a lot more internally, like convincing ourselves, right? You have a very good job, you have a lot of loan, you have a family, and in an ecosystem, comfort ecosystem, you suddenly want to leave and you want to do something which you're not very sure how it will shape up, right? So that is, I think there will come situations in everyone's life where you'll have opportunity, or you will have you'll be at a junction जहाँ आपको decide करना होगा कि मैं ये करूँ वो करूँ. There is a comfort path. You can be very comfortable, very happy. I think you can. I mean, that path will take you comfortably where you want to do, or explore more parts. So I think it depends on nature, and depends on how much hunger, how much you want to do. But that was the first challenge for me to figure out, and I think the only reason I ended up doing is because my family supported. They said, we are few of those people who can try, and lot more people cannot try. So it's important that we use the gift wisely, and we really try to build something, and probably will build something. So that was one of the challenges. The next challenge was what to do. The broad idea is good, that you want to solve the money problem. The bigger idea is that yes, there's a lot of friction. There are a billion people, and they interact with different forms of money in different way. But how do you start? Where do you start? What is the first problem? So that itself took us a lot of time, and we went to Mumbai because it's a place where a lot of financial institutes are there. काफी लोगों से मिले, बहुत सारे rejections मिले. मतलब ऐसे they used to, so we used to just roam around, talk to people, all our relatives, friends who are working in different companies, running different businesses, and for them the world is solved, everything is solved. There is no problem, there is no challenge. वो कहेंगे कि वहाँ पे देखिए वो एक जीरो था आ गया, उसने सॉल्व कर दिया. यहाँ पे इन्वेस्टमेंट, म्यूचुअल फंड्स, सब ऑफिसेज है, सब जगह सॉल्व कर दिया है. यहाँ पे ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गई, बजाज है, लोन सॉल्व है. सो फॉर पीपल हु आर पार्ट ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम, दे थिंक दैट एवरीथिंग इज सॉल्व, एंड दैट वाज आवर फर्स्ट लर्निंग, दैट we cannot get influenced by them, because as a customer I still felt problem is not solved. So the advantage that worked for us is that we could think like customer, then really the other side, which is the manufacturer, or which is the side of services provider. So it was good challenge, but I think till today, we just bought an AMC, Indiabulls AMC, and till today when I go to Bombay, people say there are 40 AMCs, they're all doing good. How will a new AMC come in? What will you do different? So now I feel really happy about this question, because I think 3-4 times we've had this question, and somehow things worked out, and we figured out there is a gap. So fundamental belief, I think, is that if there is a market out there, there's a space out there, the problem exists, there ought to be more solution. There ought to be some solution which will cater to the changing dynamics of the world, and that is how I think every challenge can be taken up, and not be turned down by the views and the comments that you get from a lot of people. That was good. Then came the next challenge, I think very typical of the startup, that 2016 was so 2015 was a hyper funding. Like everyone, even Flipkart, all my colleagues, they don't have an idea, they're still working in Flipkart, they will get a check of 1 million, 2 million, and they will be funded if they just leave a job. So leaving job was the funding event, right? If you leave Flipkart, you'll get funding, or you leave some other company and all. But 2016 was really different, because obviously all these waves come and go. And today also we are facing a wave. Hopefully it will go soon. But 2016 was a bad time. So it was difficult for us to, it was not enough for us to just leave the job and get funding, right? So it was very important for us to articulate, meet people, build a story, build a narrative, try with different ideas, do a POC. So that was another challenge, I think, as a startup we got. Then we were lucky to get funded by our ex-bosses, and we could get started with that. But then next challenge came first customer. And I think most of the businesses struggle to get first customer, because if you get the first customer right, then it's easier, because now you know who do you want to get to, and how do they think, and then probably you can get more. So first customers was difficult actually, because you can get your friends and family, use whatever you're making, anything, any crappy product you can make, any crappy service you can offer, you can definitely get someone from a family and friend and use it, but that's not very helpful. So we used to spend a lot of time here and there. So our office Forum Mall ke paas mein Kormangla mein tha, and every evening we will just go to the cinema theater, जो Kormangla के top floor, Forum के top floor पे है, and we'll just stand there and just talk to a bunch of people to get an idea. And वहाँ पे एक insight आई, तो best time to get customer or talking to random people is when someone is waiting for someone else. So movie देखने सब लोग pair में या group में आते हैं, there'll always be someone who will reach first. You catch that person, you get a free customer interview. And it is very, very important to talk to people, talk to customers. So getting the first customers was difficult. We did a lot of iteration. ये product बनाया, ये app बनाई, ये platform बनाया. बहुत सारे hypotheses थी. There were a bunch of US companies, there were a bunch of ideas VCs will give you when you meet them. ML में क्या कर रहे हो? AI क्या कर रहे हैं? You know, ladder, goal based, ये सब वो सब. But then you have to really narrow it down and figure out, you know, who's the first customer that you want to serve in the real authentic way, and then you figure out from there how will you scale. So I think first customers was another challenge which will always be there. Then obviously it came challenge. Okay, so we started with mutual funds, direct plans. I don't know how many people will know, but it's a free service. It's a service that hey, you come in the platform, invest your money, and whatever the commission a broker or platform will have, we will just pass it on in some way to you. So it's a zero revenue business, and we ran it for 3 years. Then the challenge was, you know, how will we make money and how the revenue will come. So we had some broad ideas, but I think revenue, once you hit the first dollar coming in your bank account, your pehla jo revenue aata, I think that's a big hurdle that you cross in the business, because again, just like first customer, now you know how to multiply that first source and how you can make it you know, into multi revenue format. And thereon, I mean, this is how, you know, these are like revenue. Once you get into revenue, then your challenges changes from now I have to build the right team, then I have to set the right culture. Today probably we are discussing in the office how do we set the right next roadmap for the company, how do we set the right culture so that people are self-enabled, people are growing, people are liking, and how do we build the brand, and so on and so forth. So a lot of these challenges during the journey of a startup, and I'm sure startup is no different. Startup is just a fancy word to, you know, what all we do. And I keep getting this question, you know, ki, should I leave my job and do a startup? And what I feel and what my message generally is that, you know, startup is more about taking ownership, taking accountability, and taking some risk. You know, you can do all that well in a job, you can do all that well in the running business, in the family business, or in a very, very simple business. So I think it's more an attitude, and once you have that, then you can do anything and everything that you wish for. So quickly, last, I want to talk about the learnings, and I think those learnings are very much imbibed with the challenges that we had and then we faced, and we kind of solved the challenge. So based on that, the learning, one big learning I had was, which is very easy to say. When we started, we thought we will become, you know, we'll be the most customer centric and customer obsessed company. So we wrote down few values that we started with, and luckily 7 years down the line we still go back to that document, Google Doc, and just align ourselves. Yes, this is what we stand for and this is what we want to continue with. One of them was customer obsession, but it's very easy. Everyone says, every business says that we are customer first, we want to be customer obsessed, but how do you build that in the culture? So we sat down and figured out a lot of ways, right? So today also in our company, you know, everyone, like engineer, product, whatever business, you are earning 10 lakh or you are earning 2 crore in a year, they will be spending at least once a day, half of the day with the customer support. They'll be taking calls, they'll be listening to the chats, emails and everything, because that brings the customer perspective, customer empathy in them. So we thought, you know, once everybody is connected, then the decisions we make on a daily basis are keeping customer in place. And there are like bunch of some things that we do as a ritual or as a practice in the company that keeps us very, very connected with the customers. So that's one learning. I think always we know what we need to do, but always break it down into actions which will help you achieve it, because it's very easy to get distracted by the big words and the big tags, but it's important for us to understand how do we manifest that in our business. If you if you listen to Jeff Bezos's interviews about all the Amazon's focus on customer, they will have a different manifestation. Every company has to define their own, but that's one very important thing that I learned during the journey. Another thing was think big. So it's very easy, again, think big, because everyone wants to sit and think big, but how big can you think? You know, and I mean, with the right co-founders, with the right team, with the right investors, I think this was challenged every day. And thinking big is like, actually, it's not just, just thinking big in dollars, we'll make $1 billion or a $10 billion or $100 billion company. It's more about challenging the status quo. Some things are a norm. Everyone believes like that. But if you just break that, if you challenge that, can you go bigger than that? And I think for that, it's very important to be your own devil's advocate. Like, you have to challenge yourself. So as a practice, we fire, as a founder, you fire yourself every day, because every day you want to be, you are paranoid. You want to see if I'm doing right, can I do better? What can company do better? What can everyone else do better? So I think that's just challenging, thinking big and challenging yourself every day is another thing that keeps on going and you can keep on building. And I think the most, like, of course you should have a team and the team should gel well, but I think the most important, and in a summary I would want is learning, is that if it's fun, then it will work. So we all leaders, one day said and we discussed, like, why are we building Grow? Why are we doing what we are doing? And each one of them have enough money or enough success and enough capability to get a job, but why are they doing what they're doing? And the conclusion was that, maza aa raha hai. So it's become a logo, in our team, the company, that just cheez mein maza nahi aa raha, we just stop. Like, if it's fun, then you will do the right thing and you will put your energy, it will just flow through you. It will be your ikigai in some way, that it is your happiness where we'll seek. So yeah, that's all. Any questions? We will be around. Lot more value, lot more time we can spend with you. Thank you so much and all the best, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for giving us your wonderful insights. And I think what we really liked while you were speaking to us is how you gave us your own personal experience with Grow and what were the things that you all built on. And I think that's what gave us a personal connect on how we can build on our respective brands and startups every time we think of becoming entrepreneurs. So can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Harsh Jain? Taaliyan bajti rehni chahiye.